some things to take the poll with you and to maybe share with your friends who are. I can't imagine there are undecideds at this point, but if there are any, you might want to go through this list of Trump accomplishments. Let's say besides ISIS, which at one point was in control of an area in the Middle East the size of, what was it, Pennsylvania or some fairly decent-sized state in the United States, and they had control of all of that territory. They're nowhere to be seen now. They were demolished. Filling federal judge vacancies, about 200 so far and counting. That's more than any recent president at this point in the administration. He's done 3 judicial appointments to the Supreme Court now, maybe the best of all, Amy Coney Barrett. We'll see. He did the tax cuts, not just the wealthiest 1%. Every taxpayer got a tax cut. Virtually every one. Economic growth, up until COVID, we were really humming along. And by the way, post-COVID, we just went up 33.1% in the GDP last week. 33.1%, largest of all time. Of course, we had a big hole to climb out of. Consumer confidence is up. Deregulation. Trump has cut 67 Obama-era regulations and added only 3 new ones. The rollback on regulations has spurred business confidence, economic activity, in the stock market. One senior official said Trump's actions have saved $8.1 billion in net regulatory costs. Stock market has hit highs 70 times this year alone. Unemployment, again, before COVID, incredibly low, including all-time low rates for blacks and Hispanics. For trade, not my favorite part of what he's done, but he did work out a trade deal with China, with Vietnam, with South Korea. He also redid NAFTA. On Israel, has any American president ever been better on Israel? And they just signed a peace agreement with the UAE. There are 5 or 6 others that are on board. Bahrain is also on board.
Yeah, he's totally getting credit for this too, right?
Oh, they can't stop talking about it.
Seriously, it's like around the clock. CNN keeps talking about historic Middle East agreement yet again between Trump, Israel, and a Middle Eastern country, fill in the blank.
They love it.
It just won't stop at CNN with this praise of this man.
It's almost irritating at this point, isn't it?
It's obvious what they're up to, but okay. Electioneering, anyone?
Israel and Sudan just agreed to normalize ties.
Wow.
In a U.S. brokered deal. So if you're keeping track, Israel is now at peace with the Sudan, UAE, Bahrain, Jordan, Egypt. Morocco and Oman are apparently coming online soon. There's talk that Saudi Arabia might join. I mean, those are huge accomplishments that, do you remember John Kerry said it can't happen?
Yeah.
Just get that out of your mind because it can't happen. It won't happen. It will not happen.
So bad.
It's impossible. So, by far, the best American president on Israel ever. Ask Benjamin Netanyahu. Immigration. Illegal border crossing apprehensions down 41%, southern border compared to August of 2016. U.S. energy, the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines are under construction again. Jobs to be created, 42,000. Coal. Trump stopped Obama's war on coal. Climate change. He withdrew us from the horrendous Paris Climate Agreement, which was going to destroy our economy. Schools, he's given the green light to school choice programs across the country. What am I missing here? There's so many things that he has done that, of course, the media never outlines, never talks about. They don't want you to know about them, but they're there nonetheless. So maybe we'll share this list and get it out on the internet later, tweet it out.
Mm-hmm.
Meantime, I got to tell you about real estate agents I trust. As a matter of fact, this is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know how much a newspaper endorsement means in this day and age. Does anybody even pay attention? Does anybody even subscribe to newspapers anymore?
I personally wait for the Dallas Morning News.
Every morning?
Here locally. Yeah,
Do ya?
I wait to see who they're going to pick in the election. And then,
Yeah, because what a suspenseful time this is to see who they're going to endorse.
Yeah, like it's like, I was going to vote today, but I'm still waiting for the Dallas Morning News endorsement.
But in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which has not supported a Republican since 1972,
This is big, man.
just endorsed Donald Trump.
48 years.
That's incredible. Here's what they wrote. He's unpresidential. He's crude and unkind. He's not a good man. These things and much worse are commonly said of President Donald Trump. His personality totally eclipses his record. So we seemingly have him on the dunk tank ready for a very cold bath. Let's play dump the lout. But is this really what it's all about? Isn't the real question whether he's been taking the country and the economy of this region in the right direction these last 4 years? Can we separate the man from the record? We share the embarrassment of millions of Americans. I mean, this is not exactly a glowing,
Right.
a glowing write-up. You could tell they don't like him. We share the embarrassment of millions of Americans who are disturbed by the president's unpresidential manners and character, his rudeness and put-downs and bragging and bending of the truth.
All right, Pittsburgh Gazette,
Okay.
we got it.
None of this can be justified. The president's behavior often has diminished his presidency and the presidency. Most Americans want a president who makes them proud. We, too, prefer the first-class temperament and demeanor of a Winston Churchill, Dwight Eisenhower, FDR, Ronald Reagan, or a Barack Obama. Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Whom this newspaper enthusiastically supported in 08 and 12. None of them are on the ballot this year. Let's look at the Trump record, as we just did. Under the Donald Trump economy, the pre-COVID boomed like no time since the 1950s. Look at your 401k over the past 3 years. Unemployment for black Americans is lower than it has ever been under any president of either party. Under Mr. Trump, our trade relations have vastly improved. This is not my favorite aspect of his presidency, and our trade deals have been rewritten. Thanks to him, Middle America is on the map again, and the Appalachian and hourly worker has some hope. Has Mr. Trump done enough for these struggling fellow citizens? No, but he recognized them. Maybe he was not articulate, but he recognized their pain. No one ever asked the American people or the people in flyover country if they wanted to send their jobs abroad until Donald Trump. He's moved the debate in both parties from free trade, totally unfettered, to managed or fair trade. He has put America first, just as he said he would. He has also kept his promise to appoint originalists to the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm surprised they like that.
Mm-hmm.
His third appointment, Amy Coney Barrett, is the best of all, a jurist whose mind and character and scholarship are first class. We hope she stands against both judicial and executive excess. Finally, let's talk about one of the most important concerns in this region, energy. Under President Trump, the United States achieved energy independence for the first time in the lifetimes of most of us. Where would Western Pennsylvania be without the Shell petrochemical complex? Donald Trump is not Churchill, to be sure, but he gets things done. He's not a unifier. He often acts like the president of his base, not the whole country. He's done nothing to lessen our divisions and has, in fact, often deepened them. Yeah, please. Barack Obama did that to about the 10th power.
Just to touch base here, this is an endorsement here by the Pittsburgh Gazette. Is that right? I'm making sure that's what we're still.
Yes.
I didn't know if maybe you had changed stories and I kind of
No, still the endorsement.
All right. Okay.
I mean, it's an endorsement with a lot of qualifiers.
I mean, seriously, it's like, look, I really like you, and you're pretty-ish.
Nah, you're not really pretty.
Right? Okay-ish.
But it's some of the things you do I like.
Right. I mean, you do smell bad, and you annoy me, and your laugh is closer to a cackle. And I mean, look how you dress too, you're a slob. But
but inside, it's the inside that we're. Well, no, you're not that good inside either. But some of the things you do, I like.
Yeah.
Has Mr. Trump handled the pandemic perfectly? No. But no one masters a pandemic. And the president was and is right that we must not cower before the disease. and we have to keep America open and working. And so they go on and on with a lot of backhanded compliments here. But they ended up with this. Mr. Biden is too old for the job and fragile. There is a very real chance that he'll not make it through the term. Mr. Trump is also too old.
Seemingly, what are you doing?
But seemingly robust.
He's doing like multiple rallies a day.
I know. Like 5.
He does not seem his age. So nice try, Pittsburgh.
It did say he's robust, though. But in Mike Pence, Mr. Trump has a vice president ready to take over if need be. He's in it. He is a safe pair of hands. Senator Kamala Harris gives no evidence of being ready to be president. That's for sure. Now the final line. This newspaper has not supported a Republican for president since 1972, but we believe Mr. Trump, for all his faults, is the better choice this year. We respect and understand those who feel otherwise. We wish that we could be more enthusiastic, and we hope the president can become more dignified and statesmanlike. Each American must make up his or her own mind and do what he or she thinks is best for the community and the republic. Vote your conscience, and whatever happens, believe in the country. So there it is. They're powerful.
I mean, your breath smells. You never brush your teeth. Your hair's always unkempt. But you're the one for me, babe.
Man, you got nice eyebrows.
Right?
Nice eyebrows.
Right.
You keep them.
Those elbows, I'm telling you.
Sexy elbows.
I can't turn away from them.
But they endorsed him. That never happens with major American newspapers. So I'll take it. I'll take it. And maybe it'll influence somebody in Pennsylvania who otherwise wasn't going to vote for him. I mean, it's going to be close, I think, in Pennsylvania. So
close enough for fraud.
Yeah, for sure. So he can use all the help he can get. And if they're going to look at some of the things he's done and they like him, but they don't like the way he, speaks. I mean, we've said for a long time, Stu said, don't judge him by what he says. Judge him by what he does.
That's the key.
And that is truly the key here. All right. We're just getting started. There's so much. We barely even scratched the surface.
True story.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.